Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, TechTrader.com. It's August the 1st, Tuesday, and these are the charts of the day. Well, the market is looking interesting here. This is a time where the markets will either take a much deeper retrace or surprise to the upside. Well, with Apple earnings tonight and a few other companies, it looks like there's a possibility we may not break down, but you never know. And even if we do pop up and don't take out resistance, we could still come lower. The theory would be that something like this could occur on the NDX, maybe a run up towards 59.45.50 area, and then maybe a failure. We shall see what happens tomorrow. But this is what the NASDAQ 100 looks like. We've had a big move up and a plunge followed by a rebound to resistance and then a wedge pattern. So if this wedge pattern breaks down, then you should get an equivalent move similar to that. Takes you down to test that key area around 5,800 for starters. On the S&P 500, you can see the long rally we've had has taken us way up towards 28.44. And just this last leg has taken us from about the 24.05.10 area to 24.84. And now with a pullback and a wedge, this is a light form of the diamond formation, which sometimes does break out, but often can roll over and create tops. Where would the potential be? Well, for a move down to about 24.50.55 area, as my projection. But if we do break out to the upside and we blow up, now we'll have to get to 24.54. Then you can see a run that may take it, if you're looking at this angle right there, as high as 25.05.08, something like that's my near-term target. But let's look at the charts of the day. There's some longs and shorts. Starting with AXTI, one of our swings, and boys, they've done well as it popped out, pulled back, and then took off. And this is earnings related. But you can see today another jump that popped it all the way up to a 9.5. We haven't seen that yet. So it looks like at this point, if this continues with the kind of momentum it has, we may see something around 12, even as high as 14 or 15 eventually. 3.34 days to cover, 3.38. Horizon, well, I really hadn't heard much about this company before, but Horizon Global had a big run from early 2016 when it was trading about 8 all the way up to near 27. And then it came down hard and based out. Today was a major breakaway day, jumping from 14.5 to 1787 and closing at 1723, up 329 or 23.6%. Especially with the pickup in volume this had, this is a breakout day. My target is 20, eventually mid-20s. And we shall see. There's 11.6 days to cover, and any pullback should see some support around 16. What a day for lumber liquidators, and that was a good day trade too. Breakaway gap popped from 30 all the way up to 33.5, 3/4. Closed 33.59 to upper end of the range, up 888 or 36%, the percent gain leader today. Now, looking at the long-term chart, it just appears to me that this might be have completed a long-term bottom, ran up to resistance and backed off, formed a little pattern, breakout. It looks to me like there is some resistance right about where today's high was. We get to this level, we could see something potentially as high as mid-40s. So this is something to keep an eye on. Big squeeze going on. There's 9.1 days to cover us. Well, pets, and taking a look at this pattern, this is a nice little wedge or flag setting up. And after the big run up to the top of the channel, I'm not surprised. But right now, it looks like this can consolidate. Maybe for a few days more, maybe not. But mid-50s is my target. 5.6 days to cover on that. Scientific Games, after its earnings report, exploded last week. And then look at that flag for about 5 days now. If that pops, we're going to see something in the mid-40s, and it's 12 days to cover short. TRTN swing trades moving steadily and upward, up another $1.05 or 2.9% today. You can see it looks to me like it's still headed for my target near 39 and then mid-40s. And Xerox, boy, out of nowhere, XRX, breaking out of a big base pattern, multiple tops. Today was a breakout day. I would not be shocked if it made a quick run to about 34 and then made it up to 38. Taking out this resistance here is key, and there's still 1.4 days to cover. Now I switch over to the short side. Lots of boxes shorts to show you. ASTE. Now the stock, let's complete this pattern so I have it improper. There you go. Now it's in the window. So you can see the breakdown from the topping pattern. This was actually the neckline of a Head and Shoulders right there. It snapped back to it, and then roll down. At some point, looking at this chart, it's at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline, but it's not able to rally, and it's forming a bear pattern that basically reversed today to the downside of down 116. You can see that 45 and a quarter, and then maybe 45 area, and then maybe 38 area are your targets going forward. Cavium. Well, it looks like the top is completed, the wedge is completed, and the breakdown occurred. But you can see that across here is support. If I can get this stock under, say, 60, I think it runs down into the low 50s, 53.4 range for starters in wave 3. Continental Resources, CLR, continues to form a bear wedge. Now, we first noticed this up here. It dropped from 44 down to 29. And today with that pattern and with climbing moving average and lateral resistance overhead, might very well see 26.7 zone short term. Capella, boy, this thing won't even rally, but if it does, then I'd wait for it. It's really too far too fast, having dropped from 89 to 67. 22 points in a huff. Now, if it rallies back to 73, 74, something like that, maybe or it'll go sideways and forms a flag. I'm down. I'm looking for high 50s. Dick's Sporting Goods may have resumed this decline today. Certainly not looking great. It's still mired in a decline. Sorry. And if it does make the move lower, I think we could see the stock down towards 33 and then 30. 5 Prime Therapeutics. Ever since that flag there brought my attention to it, it's dropped from 47 down to the 27 range. Now, recently forming a little bear flag, it's rolled over. Keep an eye on this one, because if it drops below 26.5, we could very well see 23 and even 18 or 19. Another biotech, Glaukos, or medical-related stock, broke the head and shoulders, rising wedge up to the neckline, rolled over, and then bounced one more time for a bear flag. Bottom line is, it looks like if it rolls over here, we're going to see 33 and then 28. Hasbro, well, after the big hit, you can see the bear wedge that's formed on it. Targets are 99, 94, and eventually high 80s. Mednax getting slam dunked hard. It's dropped from 60 and change, 61 to 45 and change. I would wait for some pullback consolidation, but it looks lower. Looking at a long-term chart, you can see the massive top that formed and rollover that's taken place, and support that's broken. Next stop, 39. Silica continues to get slammed in a nice orderly fashion. After a little bounce off the bottom of the channel, it's now resuming its decline. Now, I don't know how far it can go, but my target's 23 and eventually 18, 19. Under Armour underwater, yeah, it dropped another $1.72 or 8.6% and closed at the lowest level we've seen. I think there's a possibility this one is headed towards mid-teens, maybe lower, maybe 11 or 12 eventually. Veritiv, this box of swing shorts working. As it broke that wedge finally, it's been coming down every day. The double bottom down around 34 is my target, followed by 29. And finally, Westco WCC also got crushed hard. And it's forming some sort of wedge in here that doesn't look very good. Quite frankly, bouncing off the bottom of the channel with that kind of a pattern and closing lower every day tells me this stock is still under pressure. I'm looking for 44 and eventually mid-30s. That's the long and short of it tonight, everybody. Have a good evening.